Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Let's Play. God, there's so many on my channel now. I know this week's been a bit quiet in terms of everything in recording generally. I've just been busy, but I'm back now, and as you know, I'm now going to be kicking off Bretonnia as well. We're hoping to get out one video of each Let's Play this week. If you don't want to listen to this intro, there is a skip button. You can skip to the action in hand. But anyway, let's begin. The awesomeness that is Bretonnia. Continue.
Warrior King.
So we're going to go for very hard. We're commanding Lulakua. And, well, we'll see how this goes. So Bretonnia they're cav based. They're cav based a lot. Anyway, let's watch the intro.
Does war visit fair Bretonnia this day? It is no longer enough for the dukes to sit idle. It is time for the flower of Bretonnia to unfurl and reveal its thorns. I come to his court with a wealth of knowledge that will aid this errantry war. Like the Grail companions of old, the dukedoms of Bretonnia will unite under the banner of their king. Let their enemies feel lance tip and blazing sword. Now is the age of chivalry and greatness. Now is the age of blood and battle. Greetings to you, benevolent Royak. Blessed is your rule over Bretonnia. Yet darkness spreads from abroad and threatens your kingdom. The threat is real. It must be faced. In the east, the greedy merchant princes of Marienburg conspire to consolidate their riches. Observe that much wealth flows into Marienburg, but very little emerges. Further south, in the Grey Mountains, greenskins and dwarfs vie for control of the peaks. Whoever wins may yet cause trouble for you, my lord. Beyond, the wood elves in their mysterious forest protect their homes. Whilst at the coast, the Duke of Bordello is as unpredictable as the roiling sea, and as secretive as the watery depths. Elsewhere, the unliving lords of Musilon wage war against mortal men. The bickering dukedoms ignore the looming threat, and so it falls to you to act, my liege. Only a united Bretonnia can face these growing perils. Raise your banner, King Leoncoeur, and drive this evil from the world in the lady's blessed name.
Okay.
My lord, the Dukes of Bretonnia have resided under a chivalrous code for many years. Honor this tradition. Build upon the great foundations of Gilles Le Breton, and lead the knightly orders.
Lulakua. Now, okay, so this, I actually am going to give you a little bit of a confession. I've had a little trial through this. It is so hard. It really is ridiculous how hard it is. Now, I believe the only way of, because you get Greenskin Incursion on turn 2, which really does not help. So the best solution I can think of right now is taking out Nuremberg first, because if you try and attack them, you're gonna lose the battle because the Greenskins they're just a pain in the ass. But we're gonna try our best anyway. So
You seek counsel?
let's put him inside there so that we can get, and let's recruit some. I heard that the peasants are important, so
I am with you.
we'll get 2 more of them out. Okay, so anyway, let's have a look at our technologies. So we have the economy investment, the British Insurgency Investment Kingdom, growth +4, income from +3 settlement, and we have this, which gives us chivalry, leadership, and Lord Bennett. I think we're going to go for that first. I think that's an easy decision for that. Let's check out the skill. And what's this? The Legendary Knight. It's very useful. Who can be summoned each time the level increases one summon per trip. So basically, when your enemies, it's a wrap up enemies pretty much. And okay, let's click on him and let's have a look. This is Legendary Lord. Right. Okay, where's the skill tree? I forget where to go for the skill. Anyway, diplomacy, let's get that sorted out as well.
With foreign powers may be managed through diplomacy.
So we got non-aggression pact and we got trade agreement. Let's try and get that. Yes, that's been accepted. Let's go to here. Can we get the same offers again? They don't look like they can. Oops, I was looking at the wrong one. It's them I was looking for. Trade agreements, maybe? Yes, good. Right, okay. And border locks. Are we doing over here?
Friends, let's hope we come to an accommodation.
Yep, we did. It's good. Oh, and did I forget about Carcassonne in the corner? Over here.
Be still, Sylvain. Let them speak.
No, an aggression pact with them. There we go. Britonia is nice and good at the moment. Right, so that's good. We get trade agreements, which our body has gone up for that. Now, this peasant here, for each settlement you control, your armies can sustain an additional 2 peasants units, with the capital being able to sustain 8. When peasants are recruited, they cannot continue working their farms, as such as farming income will decline should you rebuild your captivity. Your farms are working full captivity, upkeep -10. Okay, right, that makes kind of good sense. Let's get a few swordsmen. Oh, whoops. It's the wrong one. We're going to need some swordsmen now, I think. And yeah, it looks like with Britonia, you don't want to rely on archers. They're not very good, so we're not going to really rely on them. I want to get some stables as soon as possible, really. Okay, so what can we get? What was the best sort of course of action here? All right, so guys, so we are. So this is our capital, Kurahan, and of course we have Lowigi down here as well. Now, of course, I have played a little bit of the campaign, as I already told you before, and you in turn 2 you do get green skin incursions. Now what green skin incursions does will basically overwhelm you, and your public order will just drop, and you'll get a green screen riot, and stuff like that will happen. But it can be good for XP. Now, it is possible on turn 2 to actually go take them out. However, it is risky, because if you do lose that armed battle, you lose the fucking campaign. And we're also, if you go to our diplomatic stages, you'll notice we're at war with Marienburg as well. And they have 2 settlements that they start off with. Over here, I believe, is where their second settlement is. And if we could take out that, weakened Marienburg, then hopefully the greenskins will send their army out to charge after me. That's what I want them to do, and then I can sort of loop back round and take Grunzin. That's the plan, because I do like the early XP from Greenskin incursions. So I am building a little bit of force here. So actually, I'm just going to cancel this a second, because I want to show you actually over here that there is a city that we can take out. It's called Grossel, and if we can take that out, we loop back round. We got to get over here, kill them, and loop back round to take them. And that's what I'm going to try and do. So let's just see what we could do. Now, of course, we also have these, so we can get men-at-arms with shields and men-at-arms. And spearmen, men-at-arms with shields. And also going to need the smithy, which is here. So we're going to wait a turn on that, because, I mean, 500, and we'll see what happens from there. Alright, so we're going to do some recruiting now. Now, let's just see. I'm actually going to attach my hero to here. Yeah, so we'll embed the hero. So we'll get Florence inside there, and then we're also going to recruit swordsmen, because I heard that swordsmen Britonia can be quite good against greenskins and the Empire troops as well, so that's good. So we're going to try to lure them out, because honestly that is a bit of a task to take that at the moment, and I don't see what we can do. So we want to try and get Gorsel. That's the plan anyway. Let's just go down here to. Here we go. Let's go here. We want to go with Realm of Chivalry. I believe we'll go for Realm of Chivalry. That's good. And we will end turn in a minute. Alright, so, I mean, there's a couple of options I could do. So we've got Gorsel we could take out, or we could go for Gunzit, but I'm not going to do that. It's a really, really suicidal approach to this. However, let's actually have a look at who else we could actually attack. Now, we also are at war with Scaling, who are up there. We could probably go up there and take them out as well, but, you know, there's so many options to do, to go for here. So, of course, at the moment, if we look, we've not got the Greenskin Incursion on yet, but we will next turn. Once we end turn, we will get Greenskin Incursions. This is only because I know, because I played a little bit of the campaign beforehand. But let's actually just go back to technologies a second. Now, we've got economic investment, so I've gone for that for the chivalry reason, and I've heard that there's some really good researchers coming soon with the chivalry, and of course there's the Green Tide Decree. Now this I do like, because it's great against the Greenskins, especially if you enter the Badlands, which eventually we will do, and when we do need to enter the Badlands, we have this at hand, which is really good. And there's also the Winter Decree, which is Scaling, which is where you get to go up there. This is all important information to know about the game as well with Bretonnia. So I'm just like mentioning everything that I can. So it looks like we really can't do even much this turn. I'm not going to build anything here yet. Economy's low, public order's low. I'd rather not do anything stupid yet, and we'll just wait and see what happens, basically. Okay, so right, with the Bretonnians, one more thing we are going to do once we do take Gossel is try and get a peace with Marienburg, because like if we could do that, and we could focus on the Greenskin Incursions and get rid of them, because they are a problem at the moment. So anyway, yeah, let's end turn, and you'll basically see the incursions now. They'll start straight away. Borderlooks moving in, and here we go. Here come the Greenskin Incursions. Boom! Greenskin Incursions. There it is at the top. Turns 20! Jesus. Your wars rage long, intensely for their much needed solitary to the front line of your aid. And yeah. Greenskin Incursions. Your people fear for the evils. Stark fear the Bretonnia, the Greenskins that infest the mountain forests. Harass rage surrounding the villages with greater violence. Now that they mess in the hills, people fear greater incursions controlling. So basically, yeah, Greenskin Incursions, it's not the best for me. Really not. Okay, so the Greenskin Incursion gives you minus 20 public order. It's insane. It really is ridiculous. Anyway, I've noticed that we just need to get this done now. So anyway, I'm going to research the smithy now, because that needs to go up first. But it is great for XP, having these Greenskin Incursions, but you are going to have public order issues, a lot of them. Of course, because we don't need peasants. Peasants suck, so let's get rid of them. That will also help with the upkeep of farm, which basically makes it then so we get back to positive in the golds. So that's good to know. Anything else that we can do? Let's go and have a look at diplomacy now, and see if we can get anything with the Empire.
Greetings, all you
trade agreements? Yes, trade agreements with the Empire. It's good to know.
Hail to Leon Kor. How can the Empire aid you in such evil times?
How on a defensible, let me just check a second who they're at war with. No one big. Let's see if we can get a defensive alliance. Nah, they're not going to accept that. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, right, so we want to take out Gossel, so let's get over there now. So let's cross here. There we go. We're almost getting over there now. So while we approach them, we need to, you know, we'll probably raise Gossel, to be honest. Get the money for it. Get the money for it and raise it. That's all I can think we can do right now. Anyway, this is probably going to force Marienburg to us, but as you notice, they don't have a strong enough army to oppose me, so they're not really going to be able to do much. Yeah, it just makes it so I can actually get some income. I'm actually getting some income now, which is nice, so you know. Oh, another note, guys, about this. Sometimes, now chivalry is very important, and we can get, chivalry can go negative for baiting, I've noticed. So I do have to be careful of that. If it's the Greenskins, it's not going to be too much. A bother, but if it's like the Marienburg, you know, they might. I really don't know what's going to happen. Well, we're just going to have to see what happens on turn 3. Right, let's see if we can get some money next turn and take Gossel on land. Alright, let's attack. Okay, so it's probably not even worth being in. What? How my army go down? God, this is a weak army. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Loot gained 195. Sacking would be good. Wait, let me just check chivalry. Minus 30 chivalry. That's a minus. Oh, that is something I have to remember. The chivalry problems can, yeah. I'm annoyed I didn't fight it actually. Oh well, there'll be more battles. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna have to occupy. I mean, we can't. We have to. The chivalry's too much, so occupy. Yep, so chivalry is helping. Our chivalry is going up. Obviously, these greenskin incursions are not helping. So obviously we took the city with ease, kinda. You know, it's not too much trouble there. And of course, here we can now start thinking about maybe income. Or we do need to sort about maybe growth. Oh god, minus 20 per turn. This is very scary. We do need to upgrade this. We need another soul plus, but we need to capture more for that. Nuremberg is still going to be too. Right, so now we've taken this. Will they peace with us? I'm actually curious if they'll actually peace. Yes, yes, it worked. The peace worked. Right, good. Now let's see if we can get a bit of money out of them. Still high, so there's still a chance of peace. So, let's see how much we can get these payments. I mean, getting as much money out of them as possible is a good idea. Okay, no, that's way too much. Okay, that's fine. No, but yeah, this is definitely how you can negotiate. Maybe 1,200. Still high. Yeah, let's go. Do we get a bit of money out of it? Do I get minus chivalry for doing stuff like that, though? No, nothing happened. Okay, so we got peace with them. That's good news to know. Now that we've peaced with Nuremberg, we can now focus on getting rid of the greenskin incursions. Because they really need to go. They generally do. Like, seriously. Okay, so we need to get back to Corian now. Because, like seriously, we do need to deal with those incursions. Because we do know that a rebellion is coming. I can feel the rebellion coming. Anyway, let's get across.
Warrior King.
Alright. We got peace with Nuremberg anyway. Actually, another thing we should probably do now as well is
It is late in the day for Bretonnia
non-aggression pact. Damn it. Right, okay, so it's fine. We will end turn and well, actually no, before we do that, can we afford? No, we can't. Ah, that's so annoying. Right, anyway, our farms are fine, our chivalry is fine, our income. These green skin incursions, oh my god, they are lethal. Right, okay, anyway, end turn. Alright, okay, so let's get back over.
Very well.
Back over to Corin. Right, okay, so I actually don't know what's going on here, so let's just see where they are.
My past is revealed.
Okay, so they are still in Grunzin. So we peaced with them, so that's good. However, I really wish they would come out to attack me, but it looks like Grossel got took quicker than I thought. But it's fine. I mean, we're getting income, and what we're going to do now is this, so we can get our better men out. And we'll still be alright on income. I really want to upgrade the tier thing as well, so it's walled up, so that, you know, I want walls there, so it's a lot safer. I generally think we just need to fall back to Corson, though, because, like, you know, there's a rebellion coming. I just know it, and we need to be ready for it. So let's fall back. Alright, that's good.
Damsel.
We got stuff on here. Let's do some relations, maybe. Like Nuremberg.
Greetings on behalf of the Empire. Now, what brings you here with a sheathed blade?
Not really into anything.
Greetings, lords.
Trade agreements.
I hope the late...
Nope. That's annoying. Anyway, let's see how we're doing on technology. One more turn till that is finished. Okay. Right. Not sure what the green skins are doing next. Anyway, it looks like Bretonnia over here are covering my ass from anything, so that's fine. I don't know what could happen generally right now. I probably am going to loot Grossel. Okay, right, so we could go and attack them, but they have their garrison probably. Yeah, that's their garrison. It's too much to attack. But what we can do is we do need some bowmen now. So I think I'm not really bothered by spearmen at arms.
The lady's
Oh, well, we can't do anything this turn. The rebellion is going to happen next turn, so we're going to get ready for that. Let's get a skill point. You know what? Yeah, let's go for prime mover, and let's enter. Right, here comes the rebellion. Control provinces have reached critical level. If not at once, there will be a riot. We know this. Okay.
King Lewin Leoncoeur.
So let's disband him, and let's build 2 more bows. Should we get more peasants for upkeep cost? Yeah, so it will do that. And once that's done, oh god, the Greenskins are starting to get a bit of an army out. Anyway, the rebellion is going to start next turn, so we'll have to see about that one. Anyway, let's go to here. This is finished now. Right, okay, so we want to go for the Green Tide of Decree. This will help with the Greenskins incursions, so we're going to go for that. So there's the riot. You can see the riot now. Have you noticed it's a greenskin riot? Alright, so they're going to take this back now, it looks like. Interesting. The greenskin army has come out to meet these guys, which is actually interesting. So, obviously we've lost this battle. So they've declared war on me again, as I can see. Oh no, that's
These are troubled times indeed, when such unchivalrous actions are deemed just. Let us turn a blind eye to them for now.
Alright, so it looks like Marienburg decided... Oh wait! Oh, that's a rebel version of it. Okay, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter, we've lost the settlement. We knew we weren't going to keep it. The rebellion was coming, but we need to keep, obviously, Caracone. So, we're going to get our army and attack the rebellion.
For the lady!
And then I'm going to fight this because I want to show you the units now. So we got like all our swordsmen, you know, all our peasant. You know, I want to show you what's going on with like the Bretonnians and what they've got and what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses. So we are going to fight this one. Alright, let's get into this. So this will be a very detailed battle in terms of looking at the units, because there's not many units to fight, we shouldn't lose, so it should be a good idea to have a look at the general, have a look at the archers. I've never really played Bretonnia. This is why I'm probably going to struggle with this campaign for a bit, because I've never played Bretonnia. The actual factions that I've actually played in an actual custom battle are the Wood Elves, the Warriors of Chaos, the Beastmen, and the Greenskins, but I've never played Bretonnia out in the field, because I didn't really get into them, but I heard that the Bretonnia campaign is really good and I wanted to try it, so, and it's new, so let's see what we can do about it. Alright, so we can have a little look at our army. I mean, they're up on the hill here, so I mean, what really can they do to win this battle? Not really much. So, you know, right, let's just go onto this hill up here at the top, obviously. So we're going to get all our archers now, and we're going to put them on here. So this battle is literally to see what my units can do, what they look like. So here are the peasant bowmen of missile infantry. So they've got quite a lot of them. They're probably weaker than the Wood Elves that you would normally have. Now in front we're going to get our swordsmen. Now I decided to go quite aggressive with Bretonnia in terms of swords instead of spears. They're not really a defensive army, Bretonnia, so you want to go in really like charge in, you know. Oh damn, I didn't do the camera mod where I could zoom in better. I need to get that. I actually do need to get that mod because it's pretty cool. But I will get that in some later videos. Now let's have a look at their cav. So they've got 3 different types of cav. Now this is Bretonnia's strength. It is his cavalry. And obviously its cavalry is very important. It has to be used strategically and not stupidly. It looks quite nice. I mean, how much detail did they put into Bretonnia? They look like a medieval army actually in a way, Bretonnia. And let's put in our trebuchets now. Let's see what they look like. Yeah, just normal trebuchets, like every race. And then we have our peasants, which obviously are not going to be useful at all. We're going to put them at the front because you know what? They can be the ones to die. So yeah, this is a nice looking army. I mean, it certainly wouldn't win against a full greenskin army. And obviously we have our elite troops, the Pegasus Knights. These guys will probably have to cut down anything that they go through. Obviously, they wouldn't be very good against archers because they're flying units, and flying units really do struggle against archers. But yeah, these are looking nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a few tests with my army. We're going to send in... we're going to shoot them for a bit first with our trebuchets. We don't need to rush this. You can try and save as much men as possible. Alright, let's just make sure I didn't loot... no, okay. Right, that's good. It's not really a formation I would use in the fight, but I just wanted to... You know, they are going to come at me because I have artillery. There's no doubt about it. So once I get in range... Looks like I am already, because I'm already opening fire. We're going to see what my archers can do. They've got a big hill to walk up, this rebellion, so we'll see what they can do. Anyway, I'm going to have a look at these shots. Click insert. Yeah, let's fire one. See, oh, my control. Cool, is this a direct hit? No, I missed. Oh, that's a shame. Alright, let's going on one of the better units. These guys. I mean, look, they're coming for me. It's actually pretty cool just watching them come up the hill. Now, my archers will be in range in a minute as well. But yeah, let's go and actually have a look at them over here. See what's going on. Oh, look at this damage I'm doing to them. See, this is something you got to understand it. I mean, whoa, Jesus. Now, that's why I couldn't zoom in properly. I was on a hill. That's why. I mean, honestly, guys, what these AI are doing now is kind of stupid. They're walking up a giant hill to try and meet me in the field. But unfortunately, when you have artillery, you have to do shit like this. And the only way to get up this hill, I would really say, with this army, is probably go through the trees here and come round. Because that seems like the only way you could probably get up this hill. My archers will be in range in a minute. They're probably getting their bows ready now to fire. Look at it, just watching it on approach. That's so beautiful. Oh! The volley! Oh, getting some good shots there. Trebuchets aren't as powerful as they are in Medieval. Like, in Medieval, you could take out so many units with trebuchets or with anything. Alright, so my archers are now in range. They're going to start firing now, it looks like. Yep, there we go. Unleash hell. They're also going to start firing. Like I said, my peasants are tanking everything right now. Now, what I'm going to do is countercharge them. As soon as they get up the hill, I'm going to get my army ready. This is called countercharging. So we're going to let them walk up the hill a bit, though, first. Alright. So we'll wait for them to get a little bit higher up the hill. Okay, so now I'm going to call... This is called countercharging, what I'm doing now. You attack them while they're going up the hill. You have such an advantage when doing this as well. Honestly, it's fucking amazing what countercharge can do. I mean, look, you will wreck them in Why countercharge is good, and it's very good to use only going down a hill, is because you get a nice little attack. There you go. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Now what I'm going to do is swing my Pegasus around now to take out the archers, and then the cav. Oh, what's this going on here? I missed this, but yeah, my cav's too powerful for them. My cav is just gonna, so I'm gonna get So that already broke, so that was good. Send the cav this way. Oops, I accidentally did the swordman. Yeah, something you gotta watch with Warhammer is don't accidentally do the swordsman or the archers. Don't do anything stupid like that. So yeah, my Pegasus are now engaging on the archers over here. As you can see, they're wrecking. Look at them. I love the Blood and Gore mod. It always helps. So look how effective that countercharge was. It really did some damage. So my cav's now in position to strike their archers. So you'll see a devastating... I'm going to watch this charge because it's going to be a beautiful charge. I've still not lost any cav. They're probably going to run for their life. I mean, I would. Damn, I'm on the wrong squad. I'm going to miss the charge. No, I'm not. I'm not going to miss it. Okay, so as you can see, they're running for their life. They know they've lost, these archers. Yeah, they're charging through. I mean, these guys are fast runners, but they're not going to get away. What I do like about Warhammer, they seem to speed up when they get near. Like, you can see what's going on down there now. Look how epic this looks. I mean, this battle's easy. It's not a hard battle, is it? We're going to have some challenging battles. I know that's going to happen. Yeah, but what I've done is lost less men by countercharging. Countercharging really did help. Instead of actually thinking. Now, another great way of not losing units is to get round the back of your opponents. I'm not an expert at Well, however, I know a few tricks. And a great trick to do, if there's no archers left, which is something you should do a lot, so they are victory. When there's no archers left to kill your cav, this is when you start going into the back of melee troops. By the way, do not go into the back of melee troops if, and this is a very important one, if there's spearmen. Because the spearmen will go in behind you and fuck you over. You want to use your swordsmen to take out like the spears and stuff. That's what they're there for. And then let your cav take out all the squishy stuff. That's what cabs do. The cav takes out all the squishy stuff. Anyway, we can end this battle. So yeah, there you go. That's just a simple way of playing Bretonnia, it looks like. I'm just going off what I know here, and it did seem to work. Obviously, it was an easy battle, and I lost 246 units, but had some really cool spearmen to really protect. And I know my tree people at the back as well. You see, Bretonnia don't get monsters. I don't think they get anything big in terms of monsters, so their cav is really important. And I would say in an army with Bretonnia, you'd probably want at least half the cavalry of your army, because I had some tough battles against Bretonnia. Chivalry gained, nice. Leadership, I lose chivalry if I ransom, so yeah, because it's orcs, so we are going to execute that.
Farewell.
They're trying to escape, but it's not going to work for them. Alright, and we will also resolve this one, finish that army off. We'll get a bit of gold for that as well, probably. Nice, yeah, some good gold there. Leadership. Rank gain, 4 gained. Enemies killed in battle. Greenskin incursion still going on. Yeah, now I can start recruiting spearmen at arms and with shields. We do want the shields. The shields kind of help. Against orcs a lot, shields would help because, you know, let's face it, they're going to jump on you, and a shield can be really useful there. Anyway, if we can force march back into Corian. There we go. And I'm still losing, obviously. Public order. I'm not going to be able to sort public order out until the Greenskin incursion goes. It's going to be a problem. And I am going to disband my peasants now, because I'm losing farm doing that. Alright. So they're disbanded. That's good. And now what we're going to do is end turn, skill point, and let's see, we're going to go for Inspiring Presence next, and then we were going to go for Loneborn Militant. That was the thing. Now, how are we doing on technology? Yes, the Green Tide Decree, that's what we were researching. And then maybe we'll get the Winter one after and go for Skylar. But we'll see. Let's end turn and find out what happens next. So many factions, isn't there? Bloody hell. Oh, this is very good news. This is very good news. Have abandoned their stronghold, which means, can they get back in this? They cannot. Right, so we have a huge chance here now. So what I'm going to do is move my men here, and we can raise the city while they're out of their city. This is perfect. Alright, so we'll end turn here, and we'll see what happens. They don't have a big garrison, I don't think. Garrison details. Nah, it's not that big, so that's good. It looks like Marienburg might be fucked. And it's good that Bretonnia are helping us here. The other, basically, not Bretonnia, who are they called again? I keep forgetting their names. Artio. So yeah, you know, basically,
welcome, friends.
We're probably going to get a defensive alliance with them soon as well, because the more we, if we take out the Greenskin incursions for everyone, I'm sure people will start allying with me then. So, I mean, the riot's going to start, it will happen again, so I've got to do this quickly. It may be a good idea. Oh, we can't, we're going to have to risk it. It's already turn 8 and we've not even done much. It's because it's so difficult to start. I could have gone straight and killed them at turn 2, but that would have been a bit boring. And I'm getting XP doing it this way, so anyway, let's end turn. They'll be on their way back now, the Greenskins. However, they won't be able to get back to their settlement in time, so this is good. They're having to fall back now, but they're not going to be able to get back in time, which means I get enough time to do this. This will get rid of the Greenskin incursions at long last. Yeah, boom. Should we fight this one as well? Just for the fun and balance of it all? Why not? This is actually a really good plan. Let's do that. Okay, right, so we're saving that, and we will engage. Let's go. So, we're going to have another look at our army with no peasants this time. Let's begin! So yeah, as you can see, look at it, it's very flat. It's not really an ideal battle for for tactics. There's no tactics you can really use. You just have to have a bigger army than the opponent does, and that's, thankfully, I do. I'm still going to put a positioning of defense though, like how I would do it. So I'd get the swords in front, and then have the archers behind, like so. We're going to have cav on both wings because the greenskins will try and come from the sides. I don't know why I'm setting up a proper force. It's not against a big army, but it's always good practice to do shit like this, really. Setting up your defense and everything like that. Actually, having the trebuchet here is actually pretty good. It's on a little bit of a hill. So what I'm also going to do here is get some swords to guard this post here. And he's going to guard here as well. So they're going to charge in like that sort of thing. So this side's covered. These will have to spread out a bit more now. I mean, yeah, like that. That's perfect. So yeah, I've decided to do this because now my trebuchets can fire at a better distance of attack. My Pegasus are going to do a surprise ambush. I'm going to put those in there. Let's go. Alright, so we're against, it looks like, so let's get our trebuchets firing. They're probably already on their way to fire. We could countercharge here. I mean, the countercharging would be a good idea. We would lose less men doing it that way. But let's see how much damage my trebuchets can get off first. And I've got my cavalry in position to take out their archers from both sides, as you can see. So there's their spears. They've done the smart thing. Their spears are on the flanks, and they've got their swords, and they are general behind. So we're just going to mask their spears. So that's what we want to weaken. We want to weaken their spearmen. So here's another tactic you could probably use against a big army, actually. Aim for their spears if you're Bretonnia, because you need a lot of cav to defeat big armies. So aiming for their spears with your archers is a good way to start. And you basically just take out their stuff that can flank your cav. So we're looking at a positioning now here. These two archers are going to aim for that. Actually, he's going to aim for this one. There we go. Now I'm going to bring my cav in position. I'm going to send them around here. So let's bring them round. Same goes for this cav. I'm going to move these cav into position as well. We're going to countercharge again. What are they doing? Why am my cav doing that? That's stupid what the cav's doing. I don't know, it seems to be a glitch with the system. Anyway, get the Pegasus on the archers. Anyway, so we countercharge them. There's no gap. And now we're going to go for... Actually, their archers are fleeing, so let's just go straight for their swordsmen. Nice, let's cancel all the artillery. We don't want a friendly fire here, so stop. Halt those positioning, there we go. And obviously what we're going to do is send in my Bretonnian Lord. So yeah, my Pegasus are making short work of that. My cav is coming in from behind. Yeah, nice into the swordsman, that's it, there we go. Well, what are my archers doing? They are sending in. Watch the morale just boost now when I press this. There we go. And now what I'm going to do with my Pegasus... Now I've got some flanking ability here, so I'm going to set them up for a flank. Set the cav up for a flank. Go after that one now with the Pegasus. And there's the victory. So it was a quick battle this again. I mean, I'm just testing out Bretonnia, trying to figure out what the best strategy is. And it looks like going for their spears with your archers is a good move as well. I bet you now that all the Bretonnian factions, because I've taken out the Greenskin incursions, they're all going to footlock to my side now, which is going to be fantastic. So obviously Chivalry Gauge for raid I mean, yeah, minus 30 for sacking, even an Orc settlement, Jesus. Well, it doesn't matter, we're going to raid because we want the Chivalry. The Greenskin incursions are gone, and our settlements are returned to normal. We got +9. That's what we want. So, with that gone, with the Greenskins Grunzit gone, we now can move on. So what I am going to do though is, oh, we can't move. This may be a problem. They may be coming for me. Oh no, they can't, because of my right. Now that they're dead, I'm curious. How has everything changed with everything? Still moderate. Interesting. Let's go with Lauren, with Lola, with the other Bretonias.
Welcome to fair Bretonia.
No, they're not bothered about me getting rid of the greenskin incursions for them. And border locks.
Demand, I hear you.
Training agreements. That's low. That's annoying. Alright, okay. So that looks like that's going to work out for us. How are we doing against... how's our relation with the Empire?
Hail to Leon Kor. How can the Empire aid?
Everything is very red there. We don't want to deal with that. Anyway, okay, so obviously we have to wait a turn maybe. Yeah, so yeah, the greenskin incursions are gone. We've dealt with that, finally. Obviously, when we go into the Badlands, which will be probably on episode 20, I'm saving Bretonia quite a lot here. We'll actually have a better understanding of the thing. But yes, money is going up. This is good. Grossel has been raised by the Orcs, so that's not very good as well. I mean, what could we do next? What is our attack forcing next? Maybe we should go and take out the undead. Maybe that's what we need to do next. We need to request military access through the Bretonian factions. So I'm just going to research some technology now. So the Green Tide is done. Should we research the Grey Mounting Watch? Chivalry gained 3 victories of the Greenskin tribes. Weapon strength, leadership 10. That's probably a good idea. So they'll stay in battle longer. Enable comms with diplomatic options with Lioness. And chivalry plus 10. I think we're going to go for that. Yeah. Or should we do it with Atros? Yeah, do it with Atros first. Do Atros first. And we'll see what we can do from there. Alright. Good. Everything's going well. Let's enter skill point. I mean, that's... what does this do? Control. I mean, our control's fine now, so I don't think we need to deal with that. Recruitment -3. Income from buildings plus 3%. Vampire acre. I think that's a good one. Devoted of the Goddess. Yeah, that is a good one. Oh, we should have gone for Crown of Bretonia. Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll get that next time. Well, yeah, I think that's a good. It's a good one. All right. And oh, peasant bowmen. Of course, they're also peasants. Right. There we go. Right. Gotta be careful on the bowmen. Okay. Right. There we go. And this is all making sense to me now. Peasants really are a pain in the ass in this. Ah, we're getting money now. Okay, so we have to wait one more turn. And income from trading lost with piracy. Oh, fuck your shit. I hate piracy. Ah, you twats. You fucking twats. So there's peasants inside Loigui. Oh, yeah, peasant bowman causes this. So now, we're getting farms capable. And eventually, we'll be able to upgrade to the next stage. Turn 13, and we still only have 2 settlements. This is incredible. Well, something happened. Something just happened. I felt that. Who has that now? They took Gorsel? Anyway, we can now afford this. Cannot build. You cannot construct this building before the first construction required building is in the region. I knew it. I knew it. Can't do anything yet. I actually generally am screwed at the moment. What happens if I leave the settlement for a second? I can leave. Okay, that's good to know. Noted. Marienburg is in ruin, and we need a new hero. And I think we need to do that now. Oh. Annoyingly, we lost our hero. That's really not helpful. So I really don't know what we could do. Like, there's nothing really we could do. We could just have to wait. We'll just have to wait some turns now and get some money and some cash. Fred did us. Okay. Blessed knowledge. What does that do? Research rate, hero action for it. This gives us upkeep of 30, recruitment. I'm gonna go for the tax of the peasant. Yeah. I'll go for that. I want more money. Money seems to be important at the moment, so yeah, let's see what we can do about that. Maybe it is a better idea. I got it, right? Once this is finished, yeah, we will winter woes, right? We will go up to the Winterlands and start taking out some of the chaos regions up here. That's probably what's probably a good idea. But anyway, guys, this is going to conclude episode 1 of Bretonnia. I really enjoyed this. This challenge of trying to get the green skin incursions was really fun. It really gives you a hard start. I mean, it's hard, but once you get through it and you understand how it works, you will find it pretty easy after that. So anyway, in the next episode, we are going to probably try to get the Winters of Woe and fly up there. Or maybe go and take out the undead. Maybe. I don't know what we're going to do in the next episode. But thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like rating. Make sure to subscribe. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.